Good morning and welcome to a video on pronouns, and in this particular episode we will look at independent personal pronouns and demonstrative pronouns. Okay, I'm going to look at independent personal pronouns first. They're what we call subject pronouns. Now, a general introduction of Hebrew pronouns. Hebrew pronouns will take many forms. In fact, they function many ways and abundant. All right. Pronouns can either be personal, as in he, she, we, you, etc., or it could be demonstrative, as in this, that, these, those. So remember, pronouns can be personal, as in he, she, we, you, or it can be demonstrative, as in this, that, these, those. Now, what you see on your screen is the independent personal pronoun, and they are written as separate forms. That means they exist in this form. They are not affixed to anything. They exist independently, and they can only be used as subject pronouns. They cannot be used as direct objects of a verb or as objects of a preposition. So remember, all these forms that you're seeing on the screen are always going to function as subject pronouns. They are all independent personal pronouns. They're called independent because they stand by themselves, and they're always going to be subject of a sentence. All right. Now, I'm just going to read the 3MS. That's who, translated as he or it, depending on what the antecedent is. If the antecedent is a female, then 3FS, that's a he. That's a 3FS, she, it. Remember, this form, there's an alternate form in the Pentateuch, which I want you to see. In the Pentateuch, it has a different form. It can also, in the Pentateuch, it will appear as in this particular form, only in the Pentateuch. All right, the 3FS in the Pentateuch will appear in that form. Please remember that. Okay, 2MS, ata, you, translated as you. Art is 2FS, you. 1CS is, when I say 1CS, I'm saying it's one common. It can refer to a masculine noun or to a feminine noun, any of the antecedents, if it's one of them. There are two words for it. I've written only one. Ani and Anoki is the second word. What about they? 3MP, they. There are again two words. I've written one, hem and hema. Okay, they, 3FP. Once again, there are two words, hen or henna. 2MP is atem, that is translated as you. Now, this is a masculine plural. Very different, because when I say you in English, I can either mean singular or I can mean plural. But in Hebrew, you have distinct words for it. So you'll easily know whether I'm referring to a singular or a plural. If it's a singular, it's atta, 2MS. If it's a plural, 2MP, then it's an atem. Okay, what about the next one? Aten is you, 2FP. Again, it has two forms. Atena is the second form. Finally, we have the 1CP, which is referring to we. Again, it's common because it can take either a masculine or a feminine noun as an antecedent. It is anachnu. And there are a couple of other variants of it also. Anachnu, ano, nachnu also. These are the three variants that can exist. So, they're always going to be functioning as independent, number one, and they function as the subject of a sentence. Now, for that, you need to go to 9.4 in the Page Kelly book, 9.4, and see how they function. All right. Maybe I'll just give you one example. All right. On your screen, I've taken this example from 9.4 of Page Kelly. It says ki afar ata. Ki afar ata. So if I literally translate it as for a dust, and this is the independent personal pronoun, which is ata is you, which is the 2MS form. Correct? Now, how do you translate it now? I always said these kind of words, ata, are always going to be subject pronouns in English. All right, they're always going to be subject. So you'll just put the subject first. You, there's no verb in this sentence, so it's a verbless clause. So you will have to put a verb into it. But before I put even you, I just remembered that this word begins with for. So for always comes first. For you are dust. You don't say a dust in English, so you just keep saying dust. Okay, bear that in mind. So that's one example taken from Page Kelly. You have numerous examples there, and you can see how they always function as subjects. So they'll always appear at the beginning of the English sentence. All right, unless you have some particle like for or a conjunction like and. In that case, the conjunction or the particle comes first, but otherwise the subject is always in the beginning. The subject is always as the beginning. That's pretty much what you know. Okay, let us see what are demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns. I spoke about independent personal pronouns. Let me just give you a brief discussion on demonstrative pronouns. Now, what are demonstrative pronouns? A demonstrative pronoun is one that indicates something or someone being singled out for attention. For example, I can say this man or this is the man. In either case, the words are a little different, this man and this is the man, and we'll come to that a little later as to why the construction is different in these two cases. But you're referring to a particular person. I mean, there is the particular person. In that case, it's the pronoun is indicating, the pronoun in this case is demonstrative. This is indicating someone or something for attention. Okay, there are two kinds of demonstrative pronouns. You have the near and you have the far. Okay, the near and the far. So when I say near, what I mean is demonstrative pronouns that are used to indicate something which is near, and far is demonstrative pronouns that are used to indicate something, to single out something for attention that is away from the speaker, okay, in a far distance, literally. So the two terms you're going to use is this, these, that, those, and you'll notice that in my screen you have them in singular, plural, and in terms of number and gender. So number singular, plural, and gender masculine, feminine. So masculine singular for a near one is ze, this. Zot is feminine singular. So that means if you are referring it to a female noun, all right, feminine noun rather. LA is these, which is a masculine plural, and again the same word LA for feminine plural also, these, but they are translated as these. All right. What about this? Who is that? Now you have come across this form before also when it is the independent personal pronoun in the 3MS. Now here also you will realize that it's appearing here as a demonstrative pronoun. So how do I know when it's functioning as an independent personal pronoun and demonstrative pronoun? The answer is the context will tell you. The context will always make it very clear. Remember how that the context will tell you how best to translate it. Okay, so who can also function as that, and again this form is he. You've come across it as a 3FS independent personal pronoun, but it's also a far demonstrative pronoun. A feminine singular translated as that. You have the masculine plural as hema, and you have the masculine feminine plural as henna. Again, context will always tell you how to translate it. Now, typically demonstrative pronouns function two different ways. Okay. Now, this is where your knowledge of adjectives will come into play a major role. So it can function, a demonstrative pronoun can be used attributively. All right, so like adjectives they can be used, so I'll write DP, that is demonstrative pronouns, it can be used attributively. So in that case the DP has to agree with the noun in gender, number, and definiteness. All right, that means if the noun is definite article, remember this guy will also take a definite article. With the DP will also take a definite article. Let me take one example. Makom. By now you should know makom is place, and I add haze. Now, this is a masculine singular, and this has got its definite. All right. Again, they, if you look at the chart in 9.6, you will realize that this is a near demonstrative pronoun. This is also masculine, singular, and definite. You see, they agree in gender, number, and definiteness. So how are you going to translate it? You will translate it attributively, where the demonstrative pronoun will come before the noun in English. So you're going to translate it as this place, like this. Okay, this place. Okay, bear this in mind. Let me give you another example. Another example. Let me take a feminine. Again, haaretz, hazot, hazot. Okay, hazot. Okay. Now, what has happened here is this is a feminine, singular, definite. If you look at this chart in 9.6, you'll realize that zot is a feminine, singular, near demonstrative pronoun. Okay. Near demonstrative. So feminine, singular, and this is also definite. So how am I going to translate it? I'll translate it attributively. What is zot? Zot is translated as these. Oh, sorry, this. Sorry, it's translated as this. This is singular, right? So this. So this. So it's always it's since it's a feminine singular, it is translated as this, and this Aretz is this land. That's a translation. Now, what if you have an adjective? If the noun is also being modified as with an adjective, then the demonstrative pronoun will usually stand after the adjective. All right. So in this, I'm going to show you an example where they are functioning attributively. That is, the DP, demonstrative pronoun, is also attributive with the noun, and the adjective is also functioning attributively. In that case, remember, the demonstrative pronoun will stand after the adjective. Let me give you an example. I have the word in Hebrew. You should always ask yourself, what are you dealing first with? Now, this is the noun, this is the adjective, this is the DP, or the demonstrative pronoun. Let's see if they are agreeing. This is a masculine singular definite. Again, this is a masculine singular definite. Again, this is a masculine singular definite. They are all agreeing in gender, number, and definiteness. So as you're reading in Hebrew this way, your translation in English will be this way. All right. So you translate the demonstrative pronoun first. So that is going to be translated as this, because that's what the translation is. Gadol is great. Word or thing. All right. This great thing. In English, it's going to be the demonstrative will come first, the adjective will come next, and last will be the noun. Please remember that order. Okay. Now remember, demonstrative pronouns regularly will take the definite article when they are used attributively. All right. So let me just write that down. So the DP, I'm going to use short forms here. Demonstrative pronoun, take definite article when attributive. Okay, when it's functioning attributively. Okay. Now, independent personal pronoun. Independent personal pronoun. They are always subject pronouns. Always. Remember what I taught you earlier? They're always subject pronouns. Never takes. Never takes. Never takes definite article. Never. Never. Alright? Please bear that in mind. Please bear that in mind. Independent personal pronouns will never take a definite article. Did I say? Did I write Airtel? Jeez, my spelling is going terrible. Okay. Article, yeah. Okay. Alright. So that's that. Remember, a demonstrative pronoun can take a definite article when it's functioning attributively. Alright. So the moment you see a definite article on a demonstrative pronoun, well, you should be thinking that it's functioning attributively. Now, demonstrative pronoun can also be functioning predicatively. That is something you have learned earlier also, the concept of predicative, where you have a linking verb because you need to be having a linking verb. Alright. So DP can function predicatively also. So let's see that now. A demonstrative functioning predicatively. Now, again, like predicative adjectives, in the predicate, when it is functioning predicatively, they agree in gender and number with the nouns. They never take the article. In other words, the demonstrative pronoun, when it's functioning predicatively, will never agree in definiteness with the noun that it's trying to modify. Okay? Let me just give you an example. A very simple example is Ze Hayom. Ze Hayom. Okay? So what is Ze exactly? Well, this is a masculine singular indefinite. This is a masculine singular definite. You see, they are agreeing in gender, they are agreeing in number, but not in definiteness. So what are you going? How are you going to translate it? You will translate predicatively with a linking verb. All right. So you're going to translate it as this is. Now you have to translate the definite article, the day. So what happens is you have a linking verb which makes it predicative in this sense. All right. This is the day. Let me give you the same example that I did the last time. Slightly different, modified because it doesn't have an article. This is Zot and Ha Aretz. So what's happening here? Zot Ha-aretz. This is a feminine singular indefinite. This is a feminine singular definite. They do not agree. They only agree in gender and number, but not in definiteness. So how is this demonstrative pronoun functioning? It is functioning predicatively. So you have to have a linking verb because it's a verbless sentence. So this is. You have to translate the definite article, the land. Very different from how it would have been if it was attributive. Alright. So this is all you need to learn from this chapter. I hope you've gained much from it. Alright. I'll see you in another episode. I'm calling it episodes now. Yeah, good.